folks that live within the Peace Country. And so I'm pleased with that result. Obviously, it's an interesting result nationally. We're continuing to see a shifting of that. We'll see where it all lands by the end of the evening, but that's where we are at the moment, with a little bit of an uncertain reality, but certainly I'm looking forward to going back to Ottawa and playing for Peace Country residents.
When you say that's what you want to do, is there particular things you want to work on here?
Well, there's no question that my continued commitment will be making sure that people in the Peace Country have economic opportunities, ones that have been challenging over the last number of years with a Liberal government that has been intent on shutting down the industries that are so important to folks here in the Peace Country. So we're going to continue to fight against a Liberal government that's disconnected from people that live within the Peace Country and the realities that we face. And we're going to continue to take the voices of Peace Country residents and people that live within regions like the province of Alberta back to Ottawa and make sure that those voices are heard and that the realities are reflected as we fight against legislation, anything that would be negatively impacting folks here.
You're expecting a minority government, another election sooner than later?
Well, if this minority government unfolds the way that it looks like at this moment, I suspect that there is a chance that we may be back at the polls within a matter of months. The reality is that the NDP has collapsed, the bloc has been reduced by current numbers. We'll see where that lands in the next number of hours, but I do expect that based on the reality that we're seeing right now, it's unlikely that the Liberals will have a committed dance partner like they had with the NDP with these current numbers based on what the makeup might look like.
So how do you see the Conservative Party gaining those votes from, say, a Bloc voter or an NDP voter? How can you bridge the gap?
Well, I think what's going to happen over the next number of weeks and months is Canadians are going to see the real Mark Carney. I think what we have seen over the last number of weeks is Mark Carney pretending to be all things to all people. We saw Mark Carney take many of the platform items that the Conservatives have been fighting for over the last number of years and lifted them completely out of our platform, almost verbatim, and then told Canadians that he would do that while simultaneously committing to things that were completely contradictory in other parts of the country. And so I think what the challenge for Mark Carney is now is that he has said one thing to one group of Canadians and in many cases a completely different thing to a different group of Canadians in other parts of the country.
How's your support for Poilievre?
Look, this is an incredible result for Conservatives. We're seeing a higher support in regions across this country, unprecedented support in ridings that we haven't seen ever. And so I think what we're seeing is a breakthrough in places and a breakthrough of support and a breakthrough in terms of a ceiling of support that we have never seen. Now, what we've seen is a collapse of the NDP and a collapse of the Bloc, which has changed the outcomes in terms of the seat count. But Pierre did that. He was the guy that significantly grew our voter support across this country in totally different places than our party has ever had.
Does the PPC continue to pose any threat in the future?
You know, tonight we're not seeing that. We're certainly not seeing. We'll see what the numbers look like, but I haven't reviewed that yet tonight. But early numbers that I've seen are insignificant.
At the risk of sounding speculative,
Yeah.
when I was watching the results earlier, I thought a Liberal minority with a Bloc holding the balance of power is probably the worst possible result for anybody heading to the pipeline going east. Is that assessment?
Well, this is the challenge for Mark Carney. He's going to have to decide who his dance partners are and what deals he's willing to commit to in order to govern the country. And so I think the real Mark Carney is likely to show his head, and I think at that point Canadians will render a different judgment than what they currently have.
7th election, what keeps you coming back?
Well, the reason that I keep coming back to fight for folks here in the Peace Country is the reality that unless we continue to fight for the values of hard work, of freedom, of opportunity and prosperity that are embodied in the Peace Country really the makeup of the people that live within the Peace Country. Unless we continue to fight for that, I believe that that this current government, the Liberal government, will destroy those opportunities, those values permanently in this country. And so, for the sake of the next generation, for my kids, for the kids of those of my neighbors and our future grandchildren, I want to make sure that we have opportunities that we had when we were growing up, extended to the kids that we now have and the grandkids that we someday hope to have.
Do you have any words you want to say to all your constituents and ones who voted them and who didn't as well?
Well, I can tell you that it is overwhelming to see the support that I have received during the campaign, but also here tonight to see the vote counts where they are. And what I have always committed to do is continue to work on behalf of every single Peace Country resident, regardless as to their political affiliation or commitment. But to see the support that I've received tonight is just a confirmation and a heartwarming feeling to continue to press on and fight for folks that live here in the Peace Country.
Thank you, Chris.
Really appreciate it.